Hey everyone, it's John here from RPO Bay Adelaide back with another video, and this video is going to be my post-trade deadline standing predictions and early playoff Stanley Cup predictions. So I'm going to do a bracket right fresh out of the trade deadline. Obviously, I'm going to do my official bracket before the playoffs start when the standings are official, but why not have a good time here, a fun kind of prediction video after we see all the trade deadline moves, and now the trade deadline is passed, and we will make some predictions here. So if you are new, please subscribe, smash that like button, definitely stick around for all the content and streams to come, and leave your thoughts in the comment section. So these are my predictions for the rest of the standings. So in the West Division, Colorado first, Vegas second, Minnesota third, St. Louis fourth. So a lot of these are basically what the standings are right now, and I just don't really see too much change. I think, like, obviously in the 4 spot for some of these divisions, like, could change, like the East Division and the Central Division. That 4 spot's up for grabs, but we'll see. And that's where I have the hot take in the Central Division. Tampa first, second Carolina, third Florida, but Dallas fourth. I think Dallas goes on a run to finish the season with guys coming back from injury. The North Division, Toronto first, second, Winnipeg third, Edmonton in fourth, Montreal. We get that Toronto-Montreal matchup. And then in the East, Washington first, Islanders second, Pittsburgh third, and Boston fourth. So let's get into some predictions. We'll start with the West Division. Colorado versus St. Louis and Vegas versus Minnesota. I see it being Colorado and Vegas advancing. I think Colorado's just too good right now. Same with Vegas. Like, these guys, yes, they're the favorites in these series, but they're just so good. I don't see how they could lose these series. Yes, we're going to see upsets in the playoffs, but it would just be tough to see. I mean, it would be, obviously, if it's a 7-game series, it's a good one and any team can win, but Colorado and Vegas, they're like at that like Tampa versus like Columbus level. So if we get a Columbus 2.0 in St. Louis or Minnesota, I mean, I would say even for a team like St. Louis, if they're coming to the playoffs against Colorado, they would be very underrated, but they have the matchup game to possibly get some games in or wins in and then maybe make it a series. All right, Central. Tampa versus Dallas, Carolina versus Florida. I have it Tampa versus Carolina. I think, again, Carolina for me is such a wild card for the Cup, and I think Tampa, they are probably the best team now with the David Savard addition. So I think Tampa is just so good right now, and when they get Kucherov back in the playoffs, it's going to be unfair. All right, Toronto versus Winnipeg. You know what? Montreal, they're built for the playoffs. But if the Leafs don't at least win around here or come out of the North, it's a disappointment of a season. Like, I would be very disappointed myself, and I think a lot would be in around this team going into the offseason. They would potentially blow up some pieces. I think only Matthews and Marner would be untouchable. All right, East Division. I see Washington and the Islanders coming out of these first-round matchups. Boston, I think, would have a chance against Washington, I think, with the additions they made, but I actually really like Mantha with Washington. Yes, they overpaid big time, but I still think Boston's got some issues on the back end health-wise, and I just think Washington has a little bit of an advantage here. But if Boston can be healthy, don't be surprised if they win that. And then I'm done betting against the Islanders, especially against like a team like Pittsburgh that has let me down in the playoffs when I picked them. So I'm not picking Pittsburgh. I'm picking the Islanders against the Capitals. So let's go now into what's going to be called this year the semifinals, but kind of officially the conference finals, right? Let's go on this side first, and we will go Carolina versus Toronto and Colorado versus the Islanders. So because of reseeding is a thing, guys, yes, in the Final Four. So it's not just on like certain sides. So ignore the sides, it's reseeding. So because I'm predicting Toronto could be the highest seed, they would face one of the, well, in this case, there's 2 seeds, which is Carolina. It doesn't really matter. Like, obviously, just in this hypothetical prediction, Toronto and Colorado are first seeds, and Islanders and Hurricanes are second seeds. So it would come down to points for sure. So the least amount of points in the regular season would be against the most points. So reseeding, Toronto versus Carolina, which would be such a fun series, and Colorado versus the Islanders. That would be a great series as well. So I think this is up for grabs here. Of course, people are already going, okay, why did you eliminate the Lightning? You know what? I think if there's one team that can beat the Lightning, it's the Hurricanes. I think the Lightning could for sure be in here, and that would switch things up. I mean, if the Lightning won here, then it could be a Lightning Avalanche Final Four matchup, and then Toronto versus the New York Islanders. Should we have a fun time and switch that? No. I'm just going to stay with my predictions. I want the hot take of Carolina. But, guys, in this scenario, if Toronto did finish first, if they're the President's Trophy winners, they would play the Islanders in this scenario. Tavares versus former team, and then it would be the Avalanche versus the Lightning. That would be a lot of fun. But I'm going with the hot take of Carolina beating the Lightning just because Tampa won last year in the Cup, and I want to see Carolina do well. And the Stanley Cup matchup, the Avalanche versus the Leafs, but the Avalanche win. Okay, so I'm not being biased here. Toronto should be regarded as a top 5 team at least going into these playoffs. I think the Leafs have a chance to really go on a run. As I said, it would be an absolute disappointment, a bust, if they didn't make it out of at least the first round. But the North Division, man, they're the best team, and they made big moves. They were the only team in the North Division to make aggressive moves. So they should go at least to the Final Four, and I could see them making the Stanley Cup Final. The only reason I'm going, again, I would be obviously devastated. As a Leaf fan, I would be devastated if the Leafs lost in the Stanley Cup Final. But right now, I have to go with what I see, and that's Colorado being the best team with what I have left. If Tampa makes the Stanley Cup Final, man, it's going to be hard to beat Tampa. So that's why it's like concerning for these other teams. I would not be surprised if Tampa repeats this year. I think there's a very high chance of Tampa repeating. And to me, like, credit to the Lightning fan. Congrats if that happens. But I don't like when teams like repeat because I like seeing different. Obviously, for the record books, it looks clean, it looks good. But I just like seeing different teams win. So let me know what you guys think. Please subscribe if you're new. Smash the like button. These are just some fun predictions. But yes, I will say that again. If the Leafs play the Islanders, that would be insane. The storylines, the toxic Twitter, the beef. And then the Lightning versus the Avalanche would be an insane series. So while I didn't predict that in this because I just want to throw a hot take at Carolina beating Tampa, that would be an insane series. So thank you so much. Hope to see you on the streams and videos coming up. This was John from MCKAY. Have a good one. Peace.